Ahem. What is up, people of the world? This is me, Alex Swimmer, aka AP3 Jumped, and today, welcome to a brand new vlog. Yeah, I know I don't do these very much anymore, but today I finally get to talk about something that I've been waiting for the better part of like 2 or 3 years. But today I am pleased to finally be able to talk about the the final official release of Super Mario Bros. X 2.0 Beta 4. Now, yeah, so let's talk about, and there's a reason why I said final release, but yeah. So SMBX 2.0. You know, when it was first announced, like however many years ago it was announced, I was a little adamant about it a little bit because I don't know, I was just wasn't ready to adapt back for some reason. But ever since 2.0 Beta 3 released a few years back, that was the first version of 2.0 that I downloaded, and I have been loving it ever since. You know, even before that, I downloaded the PGE editor for, like, you know, SMBX 1.3.0.1, and this is a bit of a side tangent here, but ever since I used the PGE editor, the Platformer Game Engine editor is actually what it stands for. Ever since I used that, I never looked back. Like, I don't know how I made levels without that, because making levels with PGE is so much easier. I'm able to use all my custom graphics and have them be super organized, and make my own custom tile sets, make my own custom, you know, layouts of graphics is what I meant to say. So yeah, I don't make my own custom tile sets with via pixel art. I don't do that. But what I am able to accomplish with PG is to reorganize graphics in my own, you know, organize graphics in my own way, and in ways that make sense. So even if I use default graphics, I still organize them in a way that makes sense for me to use them in a level. So then SMBX 2.0 adopted that editor, thank God, and yeah, like I said, Beta 3 was the first version of 2.0 that I messed around with, and I really loved it ever since. You know, like I said earlier in the video, I was able to utilize some of the new features that had it, and I messed around with some of the new playable characters. I messed around with some of the default episodes that came with that specific version, and I also used a couple of the new NPCs and blocks for my levels. Now, ever since I found out that Beta 4 was on the way, like later, I'd say later on in 2017 is probably when I found out about it. Either that or 2018 at the very latest. I found out about the ongoing production of Beta 4, and the Beta 4 development team posted a blog that I kept up with up until the very end, because when I try to go on the blog now, it doesn't seem to exist. Like, yeah, it says not. It straight up says not found when I click on it, and that first started happening about a month ago. So yeah, as I was keeping up with the blog and seeing all the new updates and all the new NPCs and blocks and all of the new elements that were going to be included, I was hyped. Like I was on like the 2.0 Beta 4 hype train, if you will, and I got my Mario shirt on, by the way. What else would I be wearing for a video like when I talk about this? So, gotta wear my Mario clothes when I talk about Mario. Anyway, so I was on the 2.0 Beta 4 hype train, and for each new update that they added, I just kept getting more and more excited for Beta 4's impending release. Now, I had no idea when Beta 4 was going to be made. I wasn't sure how much longer I would have to wait. So, that sucked for me to have to wait, but like I always say, and like Confucius once said, good things do come to those who wait. I feel like everyone learns that at some point in their life. So anyway, and what happens next with Beta 4's development is something very interesting. They released a preview build of Beta 4 for the Maggle X3 level design competition. If y'all don't know what Maggle X is, it's actually an acronym. It stands for Make a Good Level Contest, and yeah, or rather just Make a Good Level Maggle. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't participate in the Maggle X contests. I didn't participate in any of them. I participated in the SMBX community contests and even a few more community contests after that. That were made after Tower of Bias. So because the community contests from the first one all the way up until the 11th one were all converted into the Tower of Bias X series. So yeah, which were like SMBX episodes. Those were like those were compilations of each individual competition all into a singular SMBX episode, which I've done playthroughs of before on this channel. It's what got me popular for a little while, and so yeah. Anyway, I'm going on all sorts of side tangents and giving you all sorts of background information, but by the time Maggle X3 came around, the development team for 2.0 released a preview build for Beta 4 for people to use exclusively for the Maggle X3 contest. And now, since I wasn't going to participate in Maggle X3, I was real excited. There was basically a demo version of Beta 4 that was released, but I decided to wait it out and wait until the full final version of Beta 4 gets released. That's why I described this as being the final version, because what was released before was a demo version, essentially. So in other words, I didn't like kink out all the bugs yet. Yeah. Turns out that was 10 freaking months ago, so I would have to wait 10 more months as it turns out. I didn't even realize it was that freaking long ago. I just sort of forgot. But I was waiting and waiting and waiting. I kept checking up on the SMBX forums website. You know, I used back in high school and my first year of college, I would go on that website like every single day. But over time, I stopped going on that website, and well, I didn't go on there anywhere near as much as I did in my early days of the website. So now I only ever go on there every so often. And once I did go on there again a couple of days ago, that is when I found out about the release of SMBX 2.0 Beta 4. Now, yeah, this definitely caught me by surprise, because I think it released at the very end of January, like literally January 31st, the very last day. So, yeah. So I wasn't too far behind of the release. After all, I found out about it on like the 6th and downloaded 2.0 on Beta 4 on the 6th of February. So, yeah. That was a long time coming, Beta 4. But what the hell? Oh, it's a notification from my Amino. So yeah, 2.0 Beta 4 was a long time coming for me, and now finally getting to see and use all of the new NPCs and blocks and BGOs and everything, now I am more hyped than ever. Now I can make my SMBX levels to their fullest potential. Because, spoiler alert, I am making a Super Mario Bros. X episode. It has been in development for a very long fucking time. I actually plan on releasing 2. One of them is hub based, and one of them is world map based. So one of them has a hub, which is the one I'm making first, and the second, and my second episode is the one that has a world map. So there's even new world map graphics too. So I made basically like a rough draft of my world map for my world map episode, but right now, I'll give you a random fun fact about that later on. But yeah, so with all this being said, I'm glad I finally am able to make my levels to their absolute fullest potential. And I was messing around with the new features for like hours. Like I was spending pretty much the whole night and the next day messing with all the features, looking at all of them, and reading the descriptions for the new NPCs, because there's descriptions for every single object in the game now. There's descriptions for blocks, enemies, and BGOs. What have you? So there's anything, you name it, and that's really helpful. So if you want to remind yourself of what previous NPCs do, and if you want to learn about what the brand new NPCs do, then you can definitely have a little quick reference guide with the little descriptions. I find that to be really cool and convenient. Like I said, there are descriptions for everything, except maybe BGOs. I don't think there's descriptions for those. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if they had, because I have the editor open right now. Well, there are. They do tell you what they tell you the names of these. Okay, some of redirects track-based entities such as snake blocks and mutant vines. That's sort of what the redirector does. Okay, some of the BGOs have descriptions, but there's only descriptions for like really specific ones, like the redirectors. For instance, for example, Terminus, BGO 199, Group Miscellaneous Category Platform Path, stops the movement of track-based entities such as snake blocks and mutant vines. And then the redirects track-based entities such as snake blocks and mutant vines. And pass-through toggler toggles block collision from mutant vine heads invisible in-game. And toggles thorn state for mutant vine heads. Oh, okay, see. Alright. So I guess it only has descriptions for BGOs that actually serve a gameplay function. Is basically where I'm getting at. So like if I go to the Super Mario World fences, it'll probably tell me something about that. Yeah, fence, a climbable background object. And castle curtains, yeah. And what does it say about the keyhole? It says, when a held key touches the background object, the level is beaten. Win state number 3. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's descriptions for literally almost everything. That way, level design will be much easier and more convenient for you. And that's what I love about the PGE editor and 2.0 in general. They've the layout of the editor is the same as Beta 3. They just changed up all the graphics, so none of that has changed, luckily. But what I did find interesting is that if you made because all levels that were made level files that were made prior to Beta 4 are compatible, like all the way back up until like the very first version of SMBX, all the way up to Beta 3. I made a lot of levels in my hub-based episode via Beta 3. So with the hope and intention that Beta 4 would come out by the time I would finish and make this episode. So, yeah. Well, luckily that turned out to be the case. Y'all completely lost my train of thought. But don't worry, I remember. I need to find a Band-Aid. So yeah, I'm making levels with so what was I saying? This is why jump cuts exist. This is why I'm glad I can pause while recording a video. Anyway, so there's something interesting I found out is that any levels that you use that were made prior to Beta 4, you can use all of the new NPCs used, and all of the old NPCs will automatically update. For example, I used the Crash Bandicoot crates, the TNT and Nitro crates, and they those were left intact, but they were completely updated, and I'll tell you how they got updated in a sec. But if you tried to use a new NPC in a level made prior to Beta 4, there are certain advanced features that you won't be able to use. You'll only be able to use the default settings for those, but for anything made in Beta 4, any new level file made in Beta 4, you should have no problems using the more advanced features. Like, for example, we now have fucking barrel cannons from Donkey Kong Country. Like, who the hell would have expected that? I never thought we would get fucking barrel cannons, but yet here we are. We have them. So you can there are launch barrel settings, and you can't change the settings of those here. But if you make a brand new level file, you will be able to change the settings and customize them. And also with the paddle wheels from Yoshi's Island, you can, I would show you all this on screen, but it's just easier for me to do it this way. The paddle wheel settings, you can fully customize those settings in a Beta 4 level file. You can change the number of platforms, the starting angle, the paddle wheel radius, and whatever axis you want it to be, whether it be horizontal or vertical. I think you can move diagonally as well, but I'm not too sure about that. So yeah, so that's a good thing I'll have to make a note of. So however, if I make a new level file if I make a brand new level based off of an existing level from an older version, Jesus, you don't work. Yeah, I told you I need a Band-Aid. If you make a level file, if you make a brand new level file from an older, hold on. If you make a brand new level for Beta 4 that was made from an old level file that was made prior to Beta 4, I'm guessing you can you won't be as restricted with the new NPCs. That's a good. I'm hoping that loophole works. The reason I provide that example is because a lot of my levels in my hub-based episode are going to have remix versions as well. So saving the existing level file and saving the whole file and copying it into an existing format, and saving the existing level and copying it and saving the exact replica into a new level file, and then editing the new level file from there to make the new remix level. So yeah, that in that instance, I would need to be able to do that. So yeah, I hope y'all are following me easily. So there are some cool new updates to the stuff that was in Beta 3. For example, the Crash Bandicoot crates, right? They're, in Beta 3, they had the original TNT sound effects, but the explosion effects were just the SMB2 bomb effects. Now, they went all out with the freaking Crash Bandicoot crates. They made the TNT and Nitro crates more faithful and accurate to their original depictions in their home series. For instance, they flash now. Both crates do, just like in the original games. And the Nitro crates, they hop up and down and make the same little bubbly sound effects that they do when they jump. And they have their original explosion effects intact, which is really fucking awesome. And they behave just like they do in the original games. If any NPC at all comes into contact with the Nitro crates, boom, they're done for dinner. Even enemies. And if you throw a projectile at them, they'll behave accordingly. Like fireballs instantly blow up a TNT. Ice balls will trigger a TNT, and any and all projectiles will set off the nitro crates. At least both fireballs and ice balls will. I don't know about hammers or boomerangs or peach bombs, or I don't know about all that. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm loving SMBX Beta 4. SMBX 2.0 Beta 4 is what I should be saying. Now, I feel like this is the most complete version of Super Mario Bros. X that we have right now, and this is the kind of version of SMBX that I've wanted for years. And another reason I did this video was that it's been 8 years since I first discovered Super Mario Bros. X. Now, Super Mario Bros. X came out around 2009. However, I didn't discover it until I didn't discover the game until February of 2012. Hell, I even made a video about that when I first discovered it back in the day, and I just rewatched that specific video and I briefly talked about it, and that I've loved that Mario game ever since. That has become my favorite fan-made Mario game of all time. That actually beat out Super Mario 63, and that was my favorite fan-made Mario game for a long time. However, Mario 63 is still a close second, and with what you can do with Super Mario Bros. X, and now with Luna Lua, you can do literally pretty much almost anything you want with SMBX now. You know, I thought SMBX's development was doomed. I thought we would not get new versions of SMBX due to what happened with Redigit and how he got in trouble by Nintendo. Therefore, he had to cease development. Luckily, everyone else who was a part and helped develop SMBX 2.0, they saved the day. And I'm not exactly sure how they were able to do it, but God bless you guys for being able to do it. And I'm very grateful that you guys were able to update SMBX with all kinds of new features when all of us, including myself, thought we would never get a new version of SMBX ever again. And over 10 years later, with SMBX existing, and 8 years later with me playing SMBX, look where we're at now, and I'm so happy. Yeah. So, I'm very glad. So what happens when you accidentally press one button on one phone? Now I had to edit the video now, and now it's not going to be uploaded before midnight. Wow. This is what happens when I wait too late to record videos. Oh well. Damn it. At least my hair looks better. See, look. Now it looks better. No, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm pretty much done talking. My throat's about to die. So, yeah. Because with this phone, I can record as much footage as long of a video as I want, until I run out of camera space. But anyway, yeah, for anyone still in the SMBX community, I hope you guys have downloaded this update, and yeah, I hope you all make the most of it like I am. And also, I've tried out all the new playable characters. I love all the new playable characters. Well, I haven't tried all of them out yet. There's still a couple I've yet to fully test out and play for myself, but for the ones I have tried, I'm loving them. I'm loving them a lot, and we have like over 10 brand new playable characters. That's most of these were introduced in beta 3 actually, but I didn't fully get to experience them until beta 4. I didn't feel the need to until beta 4, and yeah, I'm loving all the new characters so far. And I will be making new levels based around those new characters, like Uncle Broadsword, for example. He's one of my favorite characters to play as, honestly. For a fan character from Mario World ROM hacks I've never played, he's a really cool character. So he was created by Raocow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So hell, I don't have any random objects for you today. At least none that are interesting. I don't know. Well, I can't really think of anything interesting that I haven't already shown off on camera. But so today's random object is food. Some mini glazed donuts. Yeah, I know I could do better than that, but it isn't called random object of the day for no reason now, is it? Because it's random. It can literally be anything. Like, this is food. Which I've done before. I have had random objects in years past that did happen to be food. For example, in 2012, I showed random objects, where some random objects of the day were actually some Angry Birds gummies, actually. But let me give you a random fun fact about my development history for Super Mario Bros. X. So, in terms of episodes, I've always had one. I've always had the world map episode in mind. I'm going to keep the names of these episodes a secret for now, but I'll give you like the code names, kind of. Those are about as clever code names as I could get with these. So, anyways, my world map episode was actually the first one I had planned. It was the first one I'd started developing. It pretty much technically ever since I first discovered SMBX. Yeah. And what led to that was I made levels based off of the 4 Mario game styles that it was based on: Mario 1, 2, 3, and Mario World. And the first level I ever made in SMBX was a recreation of Jolly Roger Bay. The geometry was good, but you could tell it was the first level I ever made, because I used like pretty much almost every NPC in that level. Yeah, it wasn't that good. I've been wanting to remake that one for years, but yeah. So fast forward, I start developing my episode all the way up until World 5, and I had a layout for my I've had a layout for my whole episode for a long time. And then next, actually, I'm losing my train of thought. Next, yeah, like I said, I made every level up until the end of World 5, pretty much, and that's when my old computer died. And shortly after that, so I lost all those old level files, but and I was upset about that. But in my mind, I thought, well, it's not that big of a deal, because those levels can be improved upon, and so I would have to redesign levels entirely. So upon restarting production of the world map episode, I made every level up. I made the entirety of World 1. And pretty much stopped ever since, because World 1, the world map episode was starting to become a little more tedious for me, personally. And then I decided, after that, I wanted to make DLC for the episode, which is actually the hub episode. So I had planned that out, planned the glossary for that out, and then fast forward, I realized I want to be able to release some kind of episode first. And what I decided to do was, instead of having the hub episode be like sort of DLC for the world map episode, I decided that the hub episode would be released first, and then the world map episode would be released second. So yeah, the hub episode has been in production for about, God, what, 2 or 3 years. It's been very slow, unfortunately. I'm not rushing these either, by the way. That's why the development is so slow. But I guess it went out with the advent of SMBX 2.0 Beta 4. I should have no problems making whatever I want now. So, yeah. Now my release order for these episodes is completely reversed. The hub episode is going to be released first, because in my mind I thought, well, the hub episode is going to be easier to produce and somewhat faster to produce in the grand scheme of things. So I decided that the hub episode would be the first episode to be released, and then the world map episode would be second. So I'm hoping that the hub-based episode will be released by the end of 2020. I've had that goal since last year, actually. And the world map episode, I don't know when I'll release that, but I'm not in any rush, so I can take as much time as I want and further refine these levels in my episodes as much as I want, and hopefully get some beta testers in too. Oh, some of my SMBX friends whom I've spoken to in the past said, "Yeah, I would love to play your game." And yeah, to all of my old SMBX friends, I wish you all best wishes. I haven't talked to any of you guys in a long time, but if you're out there listening, if any of you guys are watching, then I hope you all are doing swell, and I hope you all are doing good. And sorry I haven't kept in touch after a long time, but yeah, I want to get in touch again. I want to get in touch with my old SMBX friends again, because yeah, I miss talking to them, to be honest with you. And yeah, I would love to get second opinions for my levels. And when it comes to game development, you need second opinions in order to know exactly how your levels should be produced. So yeah. The only thing I have to complain about with Beta 4 is that there are some hidden NPCs within like the episode list that aren't within like the main tile set lists. So some of those, I thought those were fully functional. Like it has the freaking fire spewing piranha plant from Mario Forever, and a couple of original enemies are in there as well. But it turns out none of those are usable, which is really unfortunate. I hope those are usable in the future. That's another thing I love about this. Not only did it add new Mario enemies, it also has custom variations of existing Mario enemies. Like, for example, it has a Buster Beetle that actually pulls sprouts off the ground. Like, it pulls sprouts from Mario 2 and throws them back at you, just like the Buster Beetle would with ice blocks. And there's even an electric Spiny called a charged Spiny that cannot be jumped on. It can't even be spin jumped on, so that's really cool. And there's even some original enemies in there too. Like there are these bat enemies called graphs that they move based on a graph function. And there's also this I forget what his name is. There's also like this this freaking like bull enemy called a Tantrant. Yeah, it says it chases the player until it is attacked, after which it will rush forward and slams into the wall. And I see what this does, and this thing is bonkers. Like, it makes the loudest squonking noise I've heard in my life. Excuse me. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on SMBX 2.0 Beta 4. And, yeah, and by the time I'm recording this, it's actually National Pizza Day. So, yeah. Happy National Pizza Day, everybody. There's just... I've only just barely scratched the surface of SMBX 2.0 Beta 4. And, yeah. I've been going back through my older levels to add new stuff to my older levels. It is a little bit more work, but I'm also really excited. And, yeah, I have lots of inspirations who inspire me to work on creative stuff on a daily basis. And Masahiro Sakurai is one of those people, actually. So, yeah. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe. Like the video if you liked it, and stay tuned for my 2020 WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view review with my friends Tyler and Michael. And I don't know what else I plan on doing for the rest of the week. Hopefully, I'm going to have more special guests on the channel, God willing. So, yeah. Once again, I'm Alex Swimmer, aka AP3Jumped. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That is it for me, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. And yes, I did actually have pizza today. I had an indie pizza. So, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to stop talking. I might take a shower. Might drink some more soda. I don't know. But, yeah. I might wait till Monday to upload this video, actually. But, yeah. You guys already know.